Let's break down those market movements now with Nick Kunze from Sanlam Wealth and Investment. He joins me to break out the numbers that came out today. And Nick, I suppose the only good story on the markets day today was the rand gaining momentum against the US dollar. The local JSE dragged down by laggards, the resource stocks as well as your industrials. I mean, what would you say were some of the other contributors that contributed to the moves that we saw?
Good evening. I think a lot of guidance coming from global markets at the moment, and we seem to be setting the tone. This morning, as you pointed out in your intro, some disappointing GDP numbers out of China. Obviously, that being one of our largest trading partners, that set the tone for the JSE this morning. And then also guidance in the afternoon session. There's a lot of numbers coming out of the US earnings season. We are week number 2. This week we've got Johnson & Johnson, Netflix today, a couple of the big houses reporting as well. So that'll set the next tone. So at the moment, the JSE, unfortunately, a little bit at liberty to what happens outside of our borders at the moment.
Right, let's get into some company news now. Nick, we saw some results coming out of Calgary M3. They are very optimistic about the affordable housing market. That was indicated in the rebound in the earnings that they reported for the period. But also, instead of expanding too much, they're going to be focusing more on their existing markets. Your thoughts on those results and the strategy that the company will be taking going forward?
Yeah, so my thoughts were off the bat, really nice set of numbers. They did guide a week or so ago. Stock was up 30% the last time they came up with a trading update. This just reaffirms what their game plan is. Stock up another 10% today, one of the biggest moves on the all share. So really nice set of numbers, and I think it's the right way of looking at things too. We have a shortage in South Africa between, I think, 1.5 or 2 million of shortage of affordable housing. They're in exactly the right place. They managed to spin off and get rid of their construction business a year or so ago. And as you said, concentrating on streamlining their business and concentrating on what they do best. I think they're very nicely positioned and market trading accordingly. Nice share in the moves there.
Right, another company that had good moves, Steinhoff, they've been given an extension, or rather the go-ahead to be sending more money overseas by the South African Reserve Bank to reduce their debt. And this really is positive for their settlement process.
It is, and Steinhoff's a little bit of tug of war at the moment, because every single time there's a bit of negative news or delay in the settlement, the stock is down, or there's a bit of news like we saw today, the stock is up. I expect we're going to see this toing and froing for a while until they come to some sort of agreement, but this is certainly a better sign that they're closer to getting a settlement, and that's exactly what the market was looking for. And as you said, up 6% today on the day, nicely above two rand again, and the stock, I think at some point they're going to have to get that settlement done, and they're pushing hard, and I think it's pretty good to see.
Finally, Dis-Chem trading statement out today, unsurprisingly reporting that earnings are expected to be over 30% higher. I mean, this just goes to the trends that consumers are taking in terms of better self-care, and obviously the Dis-Chems and the clicks benefiting from those new trends.
Yeah, also surprised as well, because none of us are getting sick wearing masks running around the office at the moment. So, it's a nice set of numbers. Again, I think this is a little bit of buy the rumor, sell the news. The stock is up 48% year to date. Stock a little bit of positive spin to it, but a classic case of it's already in the price. But nice set of numbers, continuing where we saw the likes, as you said, clicks also, and what we're seeing also out of Aspen Pharmacare as well. So in that space is ticking along very nicely.
Nick, as always, many thanks for your time this evening. That's Nick Kunze from Sanlam Wealth and Investment, giving us a wrap of your markets day.